This is White Hart Lane tonight for the Monday Night Football. We'll hear from Jurgen Klinsmann at half-time. Right now, we're in the company of Trevor Francis and Rob Hawthorne.
Bad news is that the rain has restarted, very much winter weather, and Winter is the referee. Jeff Winter has come from the northeast to officiate, and good luck to him in his first live Sky television match. That bad weather is likely to make further inroads into a pitch that's already likely to cut up. So a stern test ahead for both defences. Chris Armstrong and Teddy Sheringham get the match underway for Tottenham Hotspur in their white tops, kicking to the left. Spurs with an exemplary record in derby matches this season. This is the 8th London derby they played, and they're unbeaten in the previous 7. Steve Potts. Here's Hughes in this roll on the right-hand side. First touch for Darney, closed down by Sol Campbell. And this is Dazelle for Tottenham, looking for Fox. Roland goes across to meet him. He'll be expected to provide support for Julian Dix, but Fox has beaten Roland twice, and then did Roland catch him? He did. And that arm from Roland on Rule Fox has given Spurs an early free kick. With the kick, he's got Sheringham and Armstrong in there, Calderwood and Mabbott there too. It skimmed off the top of Gary Mabbott's head and then took a deflection from the referee, and he gives the corner.
Well, I think Spurs are a bit fortunate to get the corner. I was convinced that it came off a Spurs player. Should have been a goal kick.
Seemed to come off Mabbott last, certainly. But Fox, in the opening minute and a half, he's had 2 opportunities to provide from dead ball situations. This corner only punched clear by McCloskey, but he finds Darney, and Clive Wilson is quickly across. Austin looking for Sheringham. Reaper up with him, and this is Julian Dix. A hesitation from Roland, but he's won the throw off Dean Austin.
Well, Rob, the game's only 2 minutes old, and quite clearly the ball is holding up. And that's disappointing because we have 2 teams tonight who are renowned for their passing skills. A lot of very good individual players on display. It's got all the promise of being a very, very entertaining game. I just hope the weather and the pitch conditions don't spoil the evening.
Fisher. Trouble for the ground staff here is that they're limited as to what they can do in draining the pitch by forking it because of the undersoil heating beneath, and the wish not to fracture any of the pipes that provide that valuable service at a time like this when the fixture programme is already in chaos because of freezing conditions. Dowie is Bilic's target from the free kick. He's unfairly holding off Colin Calderwood, even though he disputes that. The referee has called him over to talk about those actions.
Yes, so you see Dowie in a tussle with Calderwood. I don't see too much wrong with that, but I think in the opening few minutes we've seen 2 free kicks, and the indications were quite clear. When Spurs had the free kick, Calderwood and Mabbott were immediately sent forward. But it was interesting that West Ham elected to keep Bilic and Reaper in defensive areas. Perhaps that's an indication of the game plan for tonight's match.
Austin, with the attempted back pass, has conceded a corner here to West Ham. And now Bilic and Reaper have trotted forward. And only Steve Potts has been left back for West Ham, and he's inside the centre circle. Williamson's corner. Dix! Point-blank range, and it's knocked in by Darney! appearance in the starting lineup, and Darnay, the Portuguese player on loan, has set the West Ham fans off in jubilation.
Well, it's very slack marking here from Spurs. Dix is allowed to get the volley in. It's a good save from Walker. But good fortune favours West Ham because the ball rebounds to the head of Darnay, and he makes no mistake. What an introduction to English football.
What an introduction indeed. The other player who was going for that ball was Village, but it was Darnay who got there. Much that you may have read about Darnay in the build-up to his arrival with West Ham has been about him being a pin-up and popular for his looks, but if he continues to score goals that can lift West Ham at the table, he'll be popular for all the right footballing reasons too. Popular too with everyone at West Ham, except maybe Tony Cottee, who's isolated on the bench because of Darnay's arrival. Here's Darnay again. Wilson for Spurs. Williamson. Dowie's pulled away to the left. Here's Darnay. Trying to tease Wilson, but just showing too much of it to the defender. Wilson gets it clear. Sheringham appeals, but the free kick has been given to West Ham.
Well, it's a real surprise to everyone, isn't it? West Ham taking the lead. When we saw the lineups, there was definitely a little bit of caution in Harry Redknapp's lineup, but they surprised everybody by taking the lead.
Barry looking to get on the end of Potts' free kick. This is Bishop, firmly driven at Walker. Walker holding Bishop's drive when he failed to hold Dick's effort earlier, which led to Darnay's goal. Really was a big question mark about Ian Walker's fitness in the build-up to this game. The last match he missed was the one against West Ham last season when Spurs beat them 3-1 here. But just as they were in the fixture at Upton Park earlier in the season, Tottenham asked to come from a goal down. And West Ham really buzzing now. This is Dowie. Darnay has left it. Hughes. Ian Bishop. Williamson's pulled to his right. Here's Williamson. Campbell's clearance not the best. Straight to Steve Potts. Williamson into Dowie. Potts has stayed in the opposing penalty area, but nothing was to fall for him.
Well, the Spurs defence have looked so confident in recent games, look a little bit panicky. It's really shaken them, this early lead from West Ham. I don't think you can attach any blame to Walker. In fact, the volley from Dix, I think it may have took a slight deflection from a Spurs player. He did well to save it, but the rebound fell nicely to that man Darnay, and he made no mistake with it.
Austin, whose concession of the corner led to the goal.
Yes, in fact, Austin's had a couple of unfortunate games here because recently I was commentating on the first game against Wolves when he was at fault, of course, for that back pass, leaving it short for Walker. And Goodman came in with a block tackle, got Wolves back in the game. And you have to say that the corner resulted here from a bad back pass from Austin.
West Ham looking buoyant. Bishop's pass goes astray. This is Wilson. This is the first real opportunity that Spurs have had to show their menace going forward. And that breaks down as Bishop makes the tackle. Darnay. Mabbott rapidly trying to close him down. Hughes. Dowie in the penalty area on his own. Nice ball switched from Bishop to Julian Dix. Darnay's now gone forward in support. He was unguarded as well, but Gazelle clears. And Armstrong frustrated by the fact it goes to Danny Williamson. Darnay, who has He's been capped at under 21 level by Portugal and has won 2 full caps too. Came on as a substitute against England at Wembley. Dix turns that away for the throw.
I have to say, Rob, that when I heard that Harry Redknapp had managed to prize Dani away from Portugal, I felt it was a real masterstroke. I find it unbelievable that a player so well thought of over in Portugal has been allowed to come to West Ham on loan.
Just wonder how much of a deterrent all that business about his off-field activities and his liking for the bars and discos allegedly has put other managers off signing him. Harry Redknapp has bought him on his footballing ability alone, and it's reaped an early dividend with this goal.
The winner player is only 19 years of age. He's already been capped a couple of times by the national team. I find that quite incredible that he's been allowed to leave.
Header away by Dix. Dani challenging Bishop. Here's Campbell. Spurs having to try and reassert themselves. Not being given any time on the ball. This is Rosenthal. Gazelle. Sheringham having to try and hold off Bilic. And Bilic, having seemingly won the ball, has conceded the free kick. Bilic and Sheringham may be coming together again when England are due to play Croatia in April.
Well, it's quite noticeable there that Bilic's got really tight from Sheringham. I find that foreign players do that really well. Whenever I've played against them in the past, they do like to get tight, like to feel that you're just behind them. It's really irritating for a forward, and I think Sheringham will expect a lot of that tonight.
Sheringham and Wilson over the free kick. Sheringham switches it to Wilson. A nice idea, but no one in the right position to benefit from Wilson's cross. But the goal that separates the teams at the moment, scored by this man Dani.
Yeah, well, let's have a look to see if this shot from Dix was deflected. I think, yeah, just got a touch. He was unfortunate, Walker, wasn't he? Tried to deflect it off the head of Bilic, but only succeeded in putting it onto the head of Bilic, onto the head of Dani.
Throw into West Ham United, who have lost, remember, on their last 5 trips in the league. Looking at their fixture programme, you'd say that it's their home form that's likely to help them to survive. They can hold on here. Crucial 3 points will be yielding. But Rule Fox trying to drive his way through and force Tottenham back into the reckoning. Armstrong. Reaper fastened himself to Armstrong. Austin with the throw. Gazelle came short. Gazelle's cross, layoff from Sheringham, and the shot from Rule Fox. Little unsteady, but it must be difficult to keep your footing on this surface.
Yes, I was just going to say, as the ball was played in there to Sheringham, he found great difficulty holding his footing. In these sort of conditions, you can expect a lot of mistakes tonight. Not an easy evening for defenders.
There's Dean Austin. Reaper. Given against Calderwood. Challenge on Dani.
Dani's taken up some very good positions there, just off the front.
Flag was up for offside against Ian Dowie.
It's a very difficult position that, which to pick up a player, especially if you're playing with a flat back 4. 2 or 3 times he's just dropped off in between the midfield, Spurs midfield, and their back 4. And found himself in 3 or 4 yards of space. And West Ham in Williamson and Bishop, they've got players in there who can pass the ball to him. That's important. I think he's going to get himself a lot of freedom tonight in that area.
Wilson's tester and Armstrong goes in. McCloskey just hesitated, but in the end, he was in just the right place to take it.
It's not the easiest of balls for McCloskey. From an earlier cross, he elected to punch. I thought he may have punched this one, but he's confident enough to try and catch it, but only at the second attempt.
Armstrong not the easiest customer for McCloskey to deal with. Armstrong was fed that ball from Wilson, an indication that Tottenham are trying to use the uncertainty that prevails as a result of these conditions to draw themselves back into the game. Another long one this time from the goalkeeper, flicked on by Sheringham. It was asking a lot of Armstrong to get there, but he has won the corner. The best he could hope for from the angle.
Yes, that wasn't good defending there from West Ham. As you can see, they're all at sea. Certainly a lack of understanding between the two new boys, Bilic and Reaper. The first time they played together, it was quite noticeable.
Reaper with the clearance to atone for the earlier uncertainty. Now Darney set off on the chase by Bishop. The challenge by Wilson, misses Fox. Taking on Dix, Rowland coming back to support. Fox has held it up well, he's held his footing well too. But Dix solid in the tackle.
Good play that between Dix and Rowland, both from recognised left backs. They're going to have to do a job tonight on Fox to ensure that both of them will share the workload.
Here's Lazal. Dowie reaching back with an effective challenge. Bishop. Dowie again. Good indication there of the work rate in the West Ham team. Dowie coming back to win the ball for West Ham and now making strides forward. If they can service him from this side, it's Bilic. He's looking for Dowie. He got the head to it, but Mabbutt is across. Headed by Mabbutt. Potts. Hughes with the throw. Left it instead for Steve Potts. Campbell. Fox is looking for Armstrong, but he's just made his run too early.
Well, undoubtedly West Ham have been lifted by the goal, but I like the way they've started this game. They're playing with real determination, tackling like tigers, especially in defensive areas. They're here to win the game. I did feel at the start of the game that it was perhaps a cautious lineup with an eye on getting a point, but we've got that hopelessly wrong. They're here to win it.
Harry Redknapp knows the importance of getting 3 points here today. The feeling is that eventually he would like to play with three central defenders, but for the introduction of Bilic tonight, he's stuck to the flat back four. Dix with the throw, header away by Paulding. Here's Sheringham. Reaper going across to cover Armstrong.
Yes, it must have been a tough decision for Harry Redknapp to leave out his top goal scorer, Cottee. I'm sure he must have considered also, Rob, playing with three up. There's certainly two out-and-out strikers in Cottee and Dowie, with Downey just in behind.
Cottee on the bench, despite having scored 8 goals for West Ham this season. But Darney already producing a goal-scoring return. Calderwood. Didn't feel confident enough to make the pass to Austin in the conditions. And the throw-in has to be conceded. This is Dix. Looking for Hughes. Wilson underneath it with a header. Now Ronnie Rosenthal. He really hasn't got into the game yet. And Potts prevents him from furnishing either Armstrong, Sheringham or Fox, who are all waiting, with a cross. Wilson. Deep cross, and Roscoe holding on. Wilson holding on to the left-back spot. Justin Edinburgh out for at least another couple of weeks with this groin problem that he picked up in training on the day of the Wolves match. Free kick given against Dowie for the challenge on Gary Mabbott. Loyal servant in this normally solid Tottenham defence. Makes the score at the moment all the more surprising. Armstrong. The tackle coming in from Potts. Bishop. Rowland. Picking out Williamson well. Bishop. Darney and Dowie are both up ahead. Rowland's joined the attack too. This is Hughes. Rowland wants it from Bishop. He's looking to feed Darney though, and Dizelle is in the way. Bishop. Bilic. Darney lets it go, and as he goes for the return from Dowie, he's fouled by Gary Mabbott.
Clever bit of play that from Darney. Possibly had a call from Dowie. Lets it run, little dummy. Mabbott knew that he was out the game. And I have to say, he's a little bit fortunate to get away with yellow card.
They may yet be punished still further though with this free kick. Dix can hit them. Charged down by Campbell. Williamson. Ambitious from the young player who's held up by Harry Redknapp as an example that the foreign players that West Ham are bringing in aren't stifling the youth talent that comes through at the club.
Yes, undoubtedly he's a better player in the centre of midfield. We saw him recently on the right-hand side of midfield against Manchester United at Upton Park. When he played reasonably well, but I think he's far better in the centre, alongside either Bishop or Moncur.
Moncur, the former Tottenham player who's still out injured and is therefore unable to play against his old club tonight, a club where his father's still on the staff as the youth development officer. Wilson's conceded the throw-in. Clearance again by Clive Wilson. So a lot of work to do in the opening 24 minutes. Dix. away by Rosenthal. This is Potts. And Gazzelle's miss has allowed Williamson through. Mabbutt solid in the challenge twice. Mabbutt did really well there to hold up West Ham's progress. Well, Walker's kicks have caused some damage, but McCloskey has got himself into real trouble there.
Yes, I think one of his teammates could tell him where he exactly is at the moment. I don't think he knew where he was. You're at White Hart Lane, Ludo.
Seemed to suffer concussion without the hit. Gazelle, and Austin is pushing up. Austin again. And this is Rowland. Held off by Jason Gazelle. Mabbutt. Dowie. And it's Dean Austin who makes the back pass. Armstrong. Fox. And it's come off Reaper for the corner.
Good block that from Reaper. Good play from Armstrong. You know, once he's in that right wing position, he's going to whip it in quickly. Fell straight to Fox. He's looking to get a shot in, but Reaper got a good block in.
And Tottenham keep chipping away. They've won the majority of the corners, but they've still to cancel out Darney's goal. Header away by Dowie. Behind for a Don Hutchison free kick in the equivalent meeting at Upton Park earlier in the season, and it was Ronnie Rosenthal who drew them level. Sheringham going in for this one. Kloshko clears. Rosenthal has hardly featured in this match, but they need an impact from somebody. Campbell doing the defensive duties, but unable to hold off Danny Williamson. Hughes with a cross. Darney goes in again, and it's blocked by Calderwood. Promising supply line down this right-hand side for West Ham, and for Darney. Calderwood perfectly positioned to stop his efforts. And now Bilic has been beaten. Got to hold back Armstrong there, and the free kick had already been given against the Tottenham striker.
Yes, he was beaten, but beaten unfairly. Bilic tries to turn. Well, he certainly exaggerates the dive to make sure that he gets the free kick. He's certainly been in trouble if Mr. Winter had not given the free kick.
Look on by Dowie. Been reshaped for this match, West Ham, but they've taken the lead and at the moment show no signs of giving it up, despite Walker's best efforts to produce something for his strikers with those hefty clearances.
There's another example of just showing you there's absolutely no life at all in this pitch. As the ball bounced, got up no more than 2 or 3 yards. It really is dead, and I think that's the problem for Spurs tonight. Normally they're a very fluent passing team, but they're having great difficulty passing the ball around.
The rain hasn't abated either, and the pitch is continuing to take a fair old battering from the elements.
There's a group of lads at Grimsby who won't mind these heavy conditions. That's the Grimsby Town team, because of course they play West Ham in a replay on Wednesday.
Right, this match starting a busy schedule for West Ham. We're due to play Chelsea in a league match at the weekend, and possibly again the following Wednesday. Header forward by Dazelle. This is Rowland, and he's won the throw off Wilcox. And Chelsea manager Glenn Hoddle is here keeping an eye on the opposition. Campbell. Coming up, more football for you on Thursday here on Sky Sports. We're concentrating on the Scottish Cup, the fourth round tie between Clyde and Rangers, and you can join us from 7 o'clock on Thursday for that. West Ham leading 1-0, and Hughes coming forward, using the overlap of Potts. Hughes is round Wilson. Good run from Michael Hughes.
It was a good run, but he had the chance to play it in much earlier. Good little bit of dribbling, gets past Wilson, goes past Rosenthal, holds off Wilson. There he should have crossed it, just delayed it. Puts his cross behind the goal.
Sheringham. Here's Armstrong. Combining with Sheringham, and Dix is across and has it well covered. Dowie and Bishop pushing forward in support. Hughes is on the far side, and Hughes has got there. Took it too far. Dix did well in that defensive situation to stop Armstrong and Sheringham combining effectively for the first real time.
Yeah, there were one or two shouts for a penalty from the Spurs supporters, but I saw no wrong in that. It was a 50-50 between Dix and Armstrong. I think Dix was just that slightly bit stronger.
Armstrong's contributed 13 goals already to Tottenham's campaign. He's already scored as many goals in the Premier League this season as he did with Crystal Palace last, a total of 8. Of course, playing for the opposition tonight is the man he was partnering at Crystal Palace last season, Ian Dowie. Dowie at the moment is bearing down on this Spurs defence.
I mentioned that the two foreign players playing at the back for West Ham, Bilic and Reaper, they like to get tight. But what they also do is that when balls are hit forward to the front two players, in this case Armstrong and Sheringham, if they possibly can, they like to just nick in front of them. They do anticipate it well, and get themselves in front of the player. You just saw Reaper doing it there on one occasion. There's something to look out for throughout the evening.
Darnay. Dix coming in. Campbell making the challenge. Here's Armstrong. Armstrong has at least won the throw. 11 minutes to go to half-time, and remember that during the second half we'll be giving you the number for the man of the match, so you might like to be contemplating your options. Premiership fixture at the moment, it's West Ham in the lower half of the table, who are leading at Tottenham, who start the day 5th. Through this man, Dani. And it's worth testing the goalkeeper from that range, perhaps with a greasy ball.
Once again, he wasn't picked up, found himself in a lot of space, drives at the Spurs defence, onto his left foot, not afraid to shoot. Well held from Walker. But they can't get near to him in that area. It really is a problem for Spurs.
We saw him, Trevor, didn't we, score a couple for the under-21s of Portugal against England. One of them opportunist, following up on a rebound, but the other was a well-drilled-in shot. Flick on there from Armstrong, aimed towards Fox. But Koshko was aware of the threat.
Yes, I think on that afternoon it was about 30 degrees centigrade warmer than what it is here tonight.
Well, certainly is a chill winter wind at White Hart Lane.
That's what I'm on about. Bilic there, just getting in front of Armstrong. Armstrong waiting for the ball to come to him. Good defensive play.
In the absence of Alvin Martin, who's had a long-term injury in what's already his final season, as declared by Martin himself, it's vital that they do get someone to fill that role.
He's the captain of the Croatian national team, isn't he?
That's right, 19 caps he's won for them.
They're a team, you know, that I think that maybe in with a chance of winning the European Championships. They've got some outstanding players.
And of course, he's playing alongside Reaper, whom he'll probably be opposing in the qualifying group of Euro '96. Reaper of Denmark. Dani. A shove by Colin Calderwood.
Well, definitely a push by Calderwood, but once again, great chest control from Dani. And I'm sure this is an area where Dix will fancy his left foot here. That's if he can get the ball off the two foreigners. Dani and Bilic both fancy a dip from this distance.
Dix is still available as an option. But it's left to Dani. And maybe Dix would have been the better bet.
I think Dix will be taking the next one.
Perhaps couldn't argue with him because he doesn't speak the language. The other foreigner, Bilic, however, has settled into the language. English, one of 4 languages that he can speak.
And that's a big help for a manager when you've got a player who comes from abroad who can speak the language. Apart from actually being able to play, it's so vital when you're playing at the back, you're able to talk. That appeared to be a problem here when we saw Cunha playing for Manchester United. Obviously a very talented player, but unable to speak the language, and it was a major problem that evening against Spurs.
Austin gets the ball into the area. It's Reaper who clears this time. Campbell looking for Mabbott. Back to Campbell. And now Sheringham. The flag was up, though. Play on as the ball is with West Ham anyway. Fox. Bishop. Hughes. There's Dani. Holding off Calderwood. And then being fouled by the Scotsman. And he's won a free kick from a similar position to the one that he took last time.
Just a little bit too far out, isn't it? I would think for a shot.
Bishop has taken it. Dowie seemed to realise that Bishop's ball was a lost cause. Jerry Francis recognised as one of the game's great tacticians, and plenty for him to think about to try and turn this situation around.
Yes, the first thing he's got to address half-time is what he's going to do about Darney. We've said on many occasions that Jerry doesn't like to venture away from the 4-4-2 formation, but he's certainly got a problem in there. He's playing very intelligently, Darney. He's picking up a lot of loose balls in that area, causing many problems.
Hughes. Well, he was looking for Dowie as he whipped the cross in.
Once again, Darney's involved. Good little ball out to Hughes. Very left-footed Hughes. Wants it onto his left foot. I'm not sure if that's a shot or a cross. A little bit of both. Certainly doesn't trouble Walker. But he's finding plenty of space on this right-hand side because Clive Wilson is playing very narrow, defending very close to his centre-half Mabbutt, and allowing Hughes to get plenty of space on this right-hand side.
All of the problems and the excitement to come down the right-hand side with the right-hand side of Spurs team with the sort of form that Wolf Fox has been in. But instead it's Michael Hughes in this unaccustomed role on West Ham's right. He's been making inroads, but now Fox can show his skills. Perhaps no, Reaper will get there.
Yes, I would have thought Clive Wilson was expected to play against Hughes tonight. They've got so many injuries, West Ham. Recognised right-sided players like Gordon, Nazaridis, Slater, all out injured.
Here's Gazelle, fouled by Darney. One surprising omission, perhaps, of a fit right-sided player, John Hart, but he is available on the bench should they decide to switch things, West Ham. Hart's just back from international duty with the United States. It's Wolf Fox with the free kick, and it's Sheringham going in. Gloucester equal to it. And Fox's stumble means that Austin's ball goes straight to Bishop. Now Williamson. Steve Fox played behind Hughes, but he rescued it well and drags it away from Wilson. Rosenthal had to tear across there to close Michael Hughes down.
Hughes is doing a lot of effective work. He's definitely got the beating of Wilson. But having gone past him, I think he's got to concentrate a little bit more on getting this cross in. I think Dowie would appreciate an earlier ball into the box.
Hughes provides the corner this time towards Julian Dix. Clearance by Dean Austin. Bilic staying forward. Ian Bishop. We have the beating of Rosenthal, but the shot never really looked like troubling Ian Walker. Sheringham. Armstrong. Fox. And the anticipation of Bilic prevented Fox from making a direct run at the West Ham goal.
Good little flick on that from Sheringham. Looks as if Fox is clear. Good tackle from Bilic.
Fox quickly up to take the corner. Sheringham. Well, he wasn't able to get a clean strike because Julian Dix hurled himself at Teddy Sheringham.
How many times are we going to see that set-piece corner where Fox plays it to that edge of the 6 yards for Sheringham? We're now in the month of February and still they're able to get away with it.
Short for Dix. Armstrong. Sheringham. Rosenthal has burst into the middle. And, well, that's perhaps where the pitch has worked to West Ham's advantage, because they've conceded the throw instead of the corner. Rowland not giving up the chase. whereas Sheringham had. Austin with the throw. Same towards Calderwood, but Dix was standing right in front of him. Rosenthal had come for the short one. It's come back off Dix again, and it's gone for the corner this time. Time running out for Tottenham to pull an equaliser back before half-time.
On this occasion, Sheringham has taken up a far post position, so we're not going to see that ball that's curled away to that 6-yard box.
So what will the variation be this time? Header away by Reaper. Fox will get another bite at the cherry. Sheringham! Nothing is going right for Teddy Sheringham.
Good work there from Nabbott, gets the touch away from Dowie, and a good ball in from Fox. Sheringham reacts, gets in front of Reaper.
Stretched every sinew in his body to get there, but not for the first time. McCloskey equal to the effort at his goal. And the half-time whistle goes with Darney having made an immediate impact on his first starting appearance for West Ham United. Jerry Francis is touted as a possible England coach. So what can the England coach do about Portugal in the second half? The Portuguese player has really run rings around Tottenham, and they trail at half-time to West Ham by 1-0.
Monday Night Football comes from White Hart Lane this evening, where West Ham lead by 1-0. Darney, the scorer, after just 4 minutes. There's an FA Cup fourth round tie being played tonight at the county ground at Swindon. Swindon against Oldham. No score at the moment in that. The winners play either Southampton or Crewe. Latest score 0-0 in that FA Cup fourth round tie. Back to White Hart Lane then. Let's join Trevor Francis and Rob Hawthorne.
And while the ground staff have been diligently repairing the pitch, Tottenham are trying to repair this deficit by bringing on Andy Sinton in place of Ronnie Rosenthal, who scored Spurs' equaliser against West Ham at Upton Park earlier in the season. But he won't get the chance to repeat that, as Sinton comes on to try and provide a more effective force down the left-hand side, where Tottenham have so far failed to produce. And West Ham, holding the lead, get the second half underway. Dowie looking to feed the goal scorer Darney. This is Potts. Sinton making his first challenge and winning the throw. And Sinton, of course, Trevor, a player that you signed for Sheffield Wednesday.
Yes, I've actually signed him twice, because when he was at Brentford, I signed him when I was manager at QPR, and a couple of years later I took him to Sheffield Wednesday. But it must have been a tough decision, you know, for Jerry Francis, just who to play and who not to play. Rosenthal played so well at Molineux. I think he justified his selection.
And was there a push there by Bilic on Sheringham? That's what they were appealing for, but the referee wasn't very impressed by the appeals. And a chance here for Sheringham! Good save by McCloskey. Armstrong looks to follow it up, and Reaper turns it away. But McCloskey there comes to West Ham's rescue in the opening minute of the second half to deny Sheringham.
Well, it's a great chance for Sheringham. I think he needed to do a no-wheeler there. We've seen it a couple of times recently where he just chips it over the advancing keeper, but McCloskey smothered it well.
I'm grateful for the goalkeeper's length of leg there. Calderwood's won the corner. An encouraging start to the second half for Tottenham, but McCloskey holding firm. Plenty of pushing going on, and that's been penalised. So that little break, we can get a word from our reporter, George Gavin.
Yes, Rob, I've just had a word with Harry Redknapp, who's delighted with these two foreign players, Darnay for the goal. He says especially Slaven Bilic. And by the way, Bilic has had his shirt in the Tottenham tumble dryer throughout the half-time interval. He wants to play in the second half with a dry shirt. I don't think it'll last for long, though.
Darnay, then, not the only one bothered about fashion.
Can't they afford two shirts at West Ham?
Perhaps they couldn't get the numbers stitched on in time. Armstrong bursting clear, and Cox is in the box. So too now is Dazelle. Simpson's won the throw. And it's Clive Wilson to take it. Wilson's cross. And the header away to Armstrong. Saved again by McCloskey, and it's gone for the corner. And again, it's the goalkeeper's legs.
Good deep cross on Wilson. Forced to Armstrong, and once again another excellent save from McCloskey, this time with his left foot.
No let up for West Ham. Bishop glances the corner clear. And Williamson strongly holding off Sinton, and too strongly. Free kick given. They're piling men forward at Tottenham. Reaper reaching out in front of Colin Calderwood. This is Wilson. Armstrong allowed Bilic the time there to close him down and get the ball. Not the best clearance from Potts. This is Dazelle. Darnay looking to clear, it might fall for Fox. Dazelle looking to get through too. West Ham had 8 players across the edge of their own penalty area there, desperately congesting that spot to try and get the ball clear. And through sheer manpower they managed it. Calderwood. Bilic getting in front of Armstrong again. Potts. Hughes. Tottenham seeking to muscle their way back into a match in which they saw the initiative wrestled from them through that first half goal from Darnay. Walker's clearance. That's Austin. And Austin hurt. He reached out for that ball with Darnay. He's not getting a very sympathetic look from the referee as play continues with Dix. Austin hobbling back into action now. It's Rowland's cross. Dowie's coming in. Rowland again. Right across to Hughes now. Dowie looking to follow up.
Well, the ball dropped nicely here for Dowie. He wanted far too much time. The second it fell to him, he should have let fly. You see Mabbutt completely deceived by the bounce. Forced to Dowie, he's waited too long. Allows Sinton to get the challenge in.
End-to-end action at the start of the second half. And this is Will Fox. Back from Sheringham. Austin. Not sure that he intended to test McCloskey as directly as he finally did.
No, it's not the best of crosses. But undoubtedly in this second half, Spurs are pushing more men forward. In that first 45 minutes, you never saw Dazelle getting forward, but already on two or three occasions now, he's got forward to link up with the two front men. Sheringham and Armstrong.
Fox now has picked out Armstrong. McCloskey's raced from his line. But last Wednesday, guarding a 2-0 lead, we saw how effectively Tottenham could defend as a unit. Their thoughts are very much on another policy this evening. A hefty clearance. The like with which he himself was tested by his opposite number Walker in the first half. Sheringham's lay-off picking out Wilson. Darnay. Rowland calling for it, Bishop's coming through as well. The advantage played, Bishop strolling on. But you can see how the pitch is cutting up badly now. And it has to be taken account of in judgment of passing. Tricky time for defenders. Here's Dazelle. Sheringham. Came off Billich's head. Armstrong hasn't given up the chase. So quick off his line though, isn't he?
Yes, he was very alert to that situation. Played an important role in this start of the second half. Two very important saves, one from Sheringham, second from Armstrong.
Signs of his clearances, he's keen to play a part not only in the defensive sense but also in attacking mode too. Just can't make the best of that though. Bishop. Here's Darnay, the goal scorer. Calderwood just dawdled a little too long, and that's a fair challenge from Dowie. Rowland. Well, he's round Austin. And Campbell has to block the cross.
Good play that from Rowland. Not the sort of play that you associate with a fullback. You look more like a recognised winger.
He really fancied him to get past Austin, but he did. It's Williamson's corner. Back in by Reaper. Hughes. Dowie. And it took a deflection off Mabbutt and it hits the bar. And hurled back in there by Roland. Hughes goes in for it. And Spurs can consider there that they've had a real let-off. Dowie's cross seemed to clip Gary Mabbutt and come back off Walker's bar.
Well, Walker doesn't even make an attempt for it. Takes a deflection off Mabbutt. I can't believe that Dowie was trying to score from there. He's just trying to put the ball back into the danger zone. The deflection from Mabbutt completely deceives Walker.
Well, it was an inadvertent deflection, but it was almost a very costly one for Spurs. Campbell.
That's the sort of run you didn't see in the first half.
Campbell goes on. And the end pass didn't match the run.
No, it was a good run. We've seen a couple of runs from Dazelle already. A run there from Campbell. That's been the instruction, obviously, at half-time from Jerry Francis for the two central midfield players to get forward as often as possible to support the front players.
Dazelle and Fox are both in the box now if Sinton can provide. He's aimed it to Armstrong. And a fierce drive from Teddy Sheringham over the top of the bar.
That was great wing play from Sinton. He's beaten Williamson and Potts, gets a good ball to the back post. Good header from Armstrong. Sheringham on the volley, just can't keep it down. But that's the third chance they've had. We've only been playing 11 minutes in the second half.
He scored in 3 of the last 4 league meetings against West Ham, Teddy Sheringham, and scored in both matches last season as Tottenham completed the double over West Ham, as did a certain Jurgen Klinsmann. There's Sheringham again. Andy Sinton taking on Potts and getting in the cross. Dazelle goes for it. Armstrong. Dazelle again. He turns and gets the shot in. He screens the ball well and still manages somehow to squeeze his efforts in. We saw him score a goal against Queen's Park Rangers like that earlier in the season.
Once again with a brilliant cross from Sinton. Armstrong pulls off in a similar position at the back post. Into Dazelle. He's looking for a little overhead kick. Not enough power. Easy save from McCloskey. And the danger now is coming from Sinton. The old partnership from QPR of Wilson and Sinton is already paying dividends here in the second half.
Now they'll try their luck on the other flank. It's Raul Fox. Austin whips it across. And safe handling from the goalkeeper. It was an inviting cross for Ludek Mikloško. Ball hit by Walker straight against Darnay. Wilson trying to hold him up.
I did notice in the first half, every back pass, Darnay tried to shut the keeper down. That's the first time he's got any reward.
Certainly made Ian Walker think a little bit about what he'll do next time. Next challenge on Andy Sinton.
And that's the signal immediately for Calderwood and Mabbott to go forward. Sinton lets it run. Potts manhandles him. Quite clearly a free kick.
Free kick that's as worthwhile as a corner here to Tottenham, and Andy Sinton to take it. Clearance by Bilic to Darnay. Now Hughes on the break. Bishop in space calling for it, but he's taken too long. Fox won it. And Dazelle just couldn't reach back to keep it on board. Rowland. Challenge from Austin. Bishop did well. Good ball too from Williamson. Controlled by Hughes. This is Darnay. And he and Williamson weren't on the same wavelength. A bit of a misunderstanding, and then Mabbott's fouled. It's a lively open contest though.
Yes, the big difference second half of West Ham is that the front two in the first half, Darnay and Dowie, were keeping possession, holding the ball, allowing the midfield players to get up to support them. In the second half, they're not doing so. Darnay's a bit flimsy, his touch isn't quite good enough, and he's losing possession too often.
Reaper. Fox. Austin's cross. Cleared by Reaper. The cross from Austin was far too tame, and Dix clears. To Bishop, and the pressure from Dazelle, and Dowie is clearly onside. When they were appealing for an offside, Austin was playing him on, and it's Austin himself who redeems the situation.
1
the throw. Darney. Roland. Bishop. Williamson to Bishop. Now Dix joining the attack. Play on as Roland gets it across. The advantage was played after the clash, in which Dix and Austin shook hands.
Great football that from West Ham. Williamson and Bishop involved. Dix joins in. Quite clearly he's fouled there by Austin. From the eyes of the referee, but he plays the advantage rule.
One touch from Roland and the advantage soon didn't accrue. Good to note that no bookings in the match so far. Hope I'm not speaking too soon, but 7 players were booked in the meeting of the teams earlier in the season. Here's Sinton. And Williamson. Here's Potts. Down. Here's by Mabbott. On to Armstrong by Sheringham, and Armstrong had drifted offside.
Good defensive play that from Bilic. He read the situation very well. He realised that Sheringham was going to get the flick on, just stepped out and knew that Armstrong was going to be offside.
Talking earlier, Trevor, about how they managed to tempt Darney to Upton Park. Well, Bilic was obviously impressed by the legends of West Ham and the name of Bobby Moore, which I'm sure looms large in any foreign import. Now, can Julian Dix cause some damage for Spurs from this free kick? Having a go.
The only danger there for Spurs was if it took a deflection. You see Darney running across the face. Would perhaps touch Calderwood. Might have been a problem for Walker.
Tony Cottee left out of the starting lineup, may yet get his chance. Roland.
It can only be for Darney, I would presume.
Settling into the hurly-burly so quickly over a full 90 minutes.
Yes, he's starting to look tired, isn't he? But he won't play on a heavier pitch, I would have thought, this season, the one here at White Hart Lane tonight.
And there can be no question that Harry Redknapp wants to save 1 or 2 legs for the busy forthcoming programme. So the fresh injection, the Cottee for Darney, may well provide the impetus that West Ham need in this fixture. Here's Jason Dazelle. Andy Simpson for Tottenham. Armstrong coming in. Various good touches for Chris Armstrong. Now West Ham want to use this break in play to make the change. And Darney, who has made his mark, leaves the field to be replaced by Tony Cottee. Would
Downey's certainly made his mark on the game tonight, scoring that goal, but I think there's bigger things ahead for him. Once the pitches start to dry a little bit, better surface, I think West Ham have got a real talent in Downey.
Here's Sheringham. Now that the wizardry of the Portuguese player has been withdrawn, and Tottenham find the wherewithal to come back into this match. And Wilson seems intent on giving Hughes a gift to get through, and he held him back there, it seemed. The advantage was played, although again it doesn't come off.
Well, the linesman actually raised his flag. Presumably was flagging for a free kick. Couldn't possibly have been a penalty, could it?
Right on that right corner of the penalty area, Wilson and Hughes, the two players involved. Sinton's cross. Headed away by Reaper. This is Dowie. Hughes again locked in combat with Wilson. This is Potts. Potty. Dowie. This is Rowland. And Rowland through against Austin. Pull back chance here for Cotty. How did he miss?
Well, that was unselfish play from Rowland. Beats Rowland, beats Austin, sorry, could have shot. Cotty pulls off. Little side foot to the far corner, but he puts it over the bar. Great chance for West Ham to go 2-0 ahead.
Well, we'll be kind to him and say that he hasn't found his stride, having only just come on and acclimatising to the heavy conditions. Fox with a cross. Reaper with a header away. This is Campbell. Sheringham looking to feed Armstrong, but he drifted offside. The flag had stayed down. This is Andy Sinton. A real wrestling match there with Potts and then Dix. And then Sinton claims that he was caught by Julian Dix in that struggle.
Here's the incident. Two of them tangling. Sinton, wild lunge. Dix retaliates. Little word from Mr. Winter. Still no player in the book.
And a throw-in given as well, which Clive Wilson takes. Headed away by Potts.
Just prior to that incident, Rob, there's a big shout from Tottenham for handball.
Clearance by Potts again, which gives Tottenham the throw-in. Headed away by Dowie. Pass from Dean Austin. Clearance to Wilson. No Darney this time to terrorise him from the back pass.
And this time, Mr. Winter does give a handball.
Against Chris Armstrong. Pass from Dowie not really helping the West Ham cause. Here's Fox. Not where Sheringham wanted it, and McCloskey comes out for West Ham.
I think before, you know, Rob, a couple of minutes ago, it may have been a handball, possibly a penalty for Spurs. Let's see if it was. There we are. It's definitely at the arm of Reaper. I think Spurs should have had a penalty there.
West Ham then might consider themselves fortunate. Although they themselves had been appealing earlier for that clash between Hughes and Wilson. Of course, the incident between Dix and Sinton distracted us from that original handball from Mark Reaper. Don't forget, we're awaiting your nominations for your Carling Premiership Man of the Match. And the number to ring is 0891 111101. That's 0891 111101, and you can call us now with your nominations. Here's Dean Austin with the throw. Freeman was going for it. Dowie with a clearance. Curled in by Wilson towards Mabbott. Bilic got in front of him with a header away. With Tottenham's predicament as it is, every single borderline decision is vigorously contested by the home fans. And even a moment ago when Dowie was making the clearance, handball was a shout, but it wasn't as clear-cut as Reaper's earlier. Breakdown in communication between Bishop and Dix, and then Dix is fouled by Jason Dazelle. It looks like it's going to be the first card of the match. With 16 minutes to go, Dazelle blots his copybook.
This is a late challenge from Dazelle. Dix just flicks the ball away from him. Late challenge into the book.
First time that the yellow card has been brandished during the game. Dowie up for the header, and that was a crucial clearance by Austin because Rowland was coming in behind him. Austin's got it away again to Fox. Armstrong. Sheringham to Dazelle. And Sheringham again. Surface still causing one or two problems. Wilson whips it in. Armstrong with a header. More football coming up on Thursday night. It's the fourth round of the Scottish Cup, and it's Clyde against Rangers live here on Sky Sports. Coverage starting at 7 o'clock. This evening, the Premiership table could be turned upside down. Well, certainly the form book with the way this match is going. West Ham leading thanks to Darney's goal. Darney has gone off, and Bishop too is now causing some concern.
You just wonder, you know, if Darney had still been on that field, whether he would have scored.
Not the chance that Cottee lifted over.
Yeah, it's never easy, you know, when you come on like that. One of the first touches that Cottee had, I think, is a little bit unfortunate because it was a good ball from Rowland, just slightly behind Cottee. He had to try and scoop it out with the conditions being as they are. I thought he was trying to direct it initially into the far corner to Walker's left-hand side, but he only succeeded in putting it over the bar. It could be a costly miss.
Well, how much time can Harry Redknapp afford to leave with Bishop off the field? Looks like he's not going to have to consider that too deeply. Bishop apparently ready to return already. This time Hughes plays the reverse ball through to Cottee, and it's still Cottee. It's a good run and a good They'll try.
Excellent play from Hughes to Cottee. You feel as if he's going to try and get onto his right foot, but he comes inside, past Calderwood, little left footer, inches past the post. Great effort there from Cottee.
Well into his stride now. That was a lot harder than the one he missed earlier, and he went a lot closer. Bishop. Good ball. Hughes. Potts is up in support. Good kick given against Armstrong. Spurs heading for their first home defeat since October in the league. Nottingham Forest, the last team to beat them here in the Premiership. Dowie!
Well, they've certainly come back into it, West Ham, in the last 10 minutes. Dowie wastes no time, one touch, left foot. That's the third or fourth attempt we've had in the last few minutes. I think West Ham were really shaken out their stride at the start of the second half, the speed at which Spurs came out of the tunnel in the second half. But they've really done well in the last 10 minutes, come back into the game well.
Ample distance on Walker's clearance. Cottee this time is doing the Darney roll, pressurising him from the back pass. Cottee again. And Campbell away from Bishop. Well, he showed great strength initially, did Campbell, but the pitch beat him in the end, even though he was caught.
I think that'll be another booking, Rob. Quite clearly here, Williamson is beaten for pace by Campbell, pulls him back.
No card has been shown to Williamson as yet, but the referee also wants to have a word with Chris Armstrong, it seems. Gazelle, the player previously shown a yellow card in the match, and this is going to even things up. Less than 10 minutes left. Reaper up behind Sheringham. Spurs deploying all their resources in attack. Mabbott and Calderwood staying forward. Austin here, the furthest player back. Although Wilson's now dropped behind him. And when you've got all those players forward, it seemed a bit of a wasted effort. Man of the match nominations, it's up to you tonight. Give us a call, 0891 11 1101. That's 0891 11 1101. The lines are open now, so give us your call. Cottee. Calderwood caught him, but the advantage is played. Still Cottee. Williamson to Bishop. And Rowland's attempted cross brings a corner.
That was a great situation for West Ham when Cottee had possession of the ball. West Ham had 3 on 2, but Cottee should have released it slightly earlier.
All credit to the referee. He has tried to let the game flow and given the advantage wherever possible. Williamson with a corner. Dowie, Cottee! Great save! Dowie! Never looked like turning the rebound in the way he shaped up for that, but a magnificent save from Walker to stop Cottee extending the lead.
Great save from Walker and a bad miss from Dowie. It's a great overhead kick from Cottee. Good save, but Dowie really should have scored. Should have got his foot around it more. Doesn't wrap it around it enough.
Well, Ian Walker, a big doubt for this game, but he's proved his worth, particularly if Tottenham get an equaliser. They won't do it like that, though. They're inviting West Ham back onto them. Here's Cottee, fed by Hughes. Dowie's in the middle. Here's Dowie! And he almost atoned for the miss, but it skims just wide.
Brilliant play again from West Ham. Delightful ball to Dowie. So unlucky. Harry can't believe it. He knows that West Ham had the chances to finish this game off. And now he's got to sweat through very tough last 6 or 7 minutes.
Well, as you can see from that, what an open and exciting contest it's been. Tottenham may have had more efforts on targets, but none of them have counted. West Ham have got the one that has, through Darney in the first half. They've played some great football at times, belying their position in the Premiership table. Been much talk about West Ham looking to ease themselves away from relegation, but with the ever-expanding number of European places, you wonder if you might see West Ham in the UEFA competition in the foreseeable future.
I think the back four for West Ham have done excellent tonight, Rob. A lot of teams have had trouble this season against Sheringham and Armstrong. We'll just leave it there for a minute.
Dowie battling to win it for Rowland. Bishop's coming forward in support. Rowland tries the shot. And Walker stood up to it.
Well, the point I was going to make is that between them, the two have scored 34 goals this season. But in the last 5 games, there's only been one solitary goal from Sheringham. That was at Molineux last Wednesday. But you have to give credit tonight, especially to the central two, Bilic and Reaper. They've done an excellent job.
Sheringham looking to feed Armstrong this time. It's McCoskow's alertness that comes to West Ham's rescue, and now Reaper with a solid clearance. Still the pressure's maintained. Simpson's cross. And the header is just wide. Teddy Sheringham.
What a great header this from Sheringham. So unlucky, beats Dix, beats McCloskey, inches wide.
Sheringham forced his way through the crowd. It's not going to be his night, is it? And John Harkes has come on for Michael Hughes on that right side.
Well, that can only be tactical because Hughes has done excellent tonight. He's been a real threat, totally dominated Clyde Wilson. But I think Harry Redknapp, with just 5 minutes to go, is worried about the threat now that's coming from Simpson. So he's got him on their Harkes to try and block that area up. Give a little bit of support to the right-back Potts.
They could relieve that threat if they score a second goal. This is Dix. This is Danny Williamson. And it comes off Mabbutt. Well, Wilson might have hoped that the pitch would do him a favour there by holding it up as it came off Mabbutt. But it's gone all the way for the throw-in. And Harkes can afford to let the clock run down a bit here. Dowie. Calderwood's clearance not the most emphatic. Austin gets it away to Fox.
Rob, considering the conditions, how difficult they are, let's give credit tonight to the 25 players who have been used. It's been a splendid game. They really have played a great part in making it such an entertaining game. And also the referee's done well.
The excitement may not be over yet. Austin looks for Dazelle. Flick off to Campbell. And it's not even going to yield a corner for Tottenham. Klosko, who's made some crucial saves in this match, denies them even that privilege. And a hefty clearance, Cottee to Dowie! Oh, it's gone wide again! Talk about Route 1 from one goal to the other.
I've never seen so many near misses as we've had in the last 10 minutes. Another unbelievable attempt from Dowie. How close can you get? It's going from one end to the next.
Here's Dix. And Cottee, too long for him. Wilson has to be careful as the ball holds up. And he's given it to Roland. He covers well. Get himself out of a sticky situation. Campbell. Cazella's made a run down the centre. Campbell unable to provide for him. Fox. Campbell. Dix clears to Bishop. Conceding the throw-in will do for Ian Bishop at the moment. The pressure only temporarily relieved, though, with a minute to go. Tottenham have left Colin Calderwood back. Header away by Dix. This is Clive Wilson. Looking for Sheringham. And that was good play by Reaper. He headed the ball against Sheringham to win the goal kick. But is Darney's goal going to win the match?
Yes, here's the goal. Good save from Walker. Gets a little touch to it, a little bit flimsy there, onto the head of Darney. And he makes no mistake. Despite Clive Wilson trying to get it off the line, he's well beaten by the header.
Tottenham have to stabilise their home form, having lost 3 of their first 5 matches at White Hart Lane in the league. of October, their last defeat here. They're heading for another, unless they can produce a late equaliser and a dramatic finish. Walker's goal breached by Danny, and the Kloskos held firm between the sticks for West Ham. Whipped forward by Wilson. Header away by Dix. Bilic clears to Roland. And Cottee gets in front of Austin, but Austin wins it back. Neat layoff by Sheringham. Campbell to Armstrong. Lashed across the face by Chris Armstrong.
Well, even in the 90th minute, we're still having near misses. Armstrong in line with the last defender, Reaper, drives it across the keeper.
No let-up from Miklosko. Calderwood's header with the throw for West Ham. No rush for John Harkes. Or Potts. There's Dowie. And it's gone for the throw-in. The whistles coming from the West Ham fans. They're desperate for the final whistle. Tottenham want another fling. Williamson, though, cuts them off.
It was actually Bilic again, Rob, just getting in front of the forward like he's done all evening. Had an excellent game on his debut for West Ham.
Here's Harkes. That's Calderwood with a dangerous back pass straight to Cottee. Well, Austin was there, shutting off the route. Cottee still decided to try his luck. Walker closed him down, and West Ham's wishes are granted. The final whistle's blown, and Darnay, on his first start in the West Ham lineup, has produced a vital away win for Harry Redknapp's team. An early goal has the Hammers fans blowing bubbles of delight. Dowie, who caused great excitement with a series of close misses in the second half. A solid display too from Julian Dix. But West Ham, who'd lost their previous 5 away from home, gain only their second victory at Upton Park in the last, or rather at White Hart Lane, in the last 9 meetings. And Tony Cottee, he'll be looking back on the miss that could have extended West Ham's advantage, but 1-0 in the end was enough as Mikloshko kept out efforts from Armstrong and Sheringham, needing his legs to deny them on both occasions. Darnay already came with the reputation as the Portuguese pin-up. Tonight it's his footballing feat that attracts the headlines, and delight for a band of supporters that have seen their team struggle at various stages of this season, but they become the first London side to inflict a defeat on Tottenham in a derby match this season. Plenty of talking points from a compelling match. It finished Tottenham 0, West Ham 1.